Hello and welcome to my Saturday Live at 5. This is Jeanne Omlor, the online business profits strategist and coach. So, as usual, I always wait a couple seconds to see if people turn up, and then I will start my presentation or my training today. Now, my training today is about what you do need and what you don't need to get to 30K plus months online. And then I'm going to go into the steps of, hey Troy, of what you need to get past 30K. Because there's sort of all these ideas about what people think they have to do, and it's really not that hard. Okay, so again, if you just tuned in, this is Jeanne Omlor, the online business profits strategist and coach. And as I said, we are going to talk about exactly what you need to do to get to 30K plus months, exactly what you need for the next step, and what you don't need. There's a lot of confusion, and I want to start clearing this up. So, if you want to introduce yourself, it'd be great. I love hearing where people are from, because I'm a big traveler, and I've lived and traveled to many different places in the world. So why don't you just hit me up with where you're from, because I love knowing that. Okay, and I'm going to wait another minute or so just to see if anybody rocks up, because I don't want them to miss any of this very valuable training today, where I'm going to really clear up a lot of the confusion for people. And hey, thanks for the hearts. If you just got on, hey Gregory, how are you? If you just got on, please hashtag live, tell me where you're from so I can say hello, and I'm going to get started. Just to try to clear up a lot of confusion about how to make money online and who can make money online and how to do it really easily and what you don't need and all that pain. I want to swipe that away. I want to just wipe the pain away today for people. I really do. Because I just feel like you're in NYC. Hey, Gregory. I think Gregory's actually in Queens in NYC. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Okay, so just see who else is rocking up. Fabio, you're from Brazil. Hello, how are you? How are things in Brazil? I'm guessing a lot of you people are still in lockdown. I know some places are starting to open things up. Okay, who else is on the live? We got a few more people. Please say where you're from. And also, you can start commenting on what you want me to talk about apart from this, so I can start getting an idea, because there's a lag, and then I'll look at those later. Hey, Hint, how are you? Hint is watching from Morocco. Great, so I'm going to get started now on the steps you need. Hey, the steps you need to get to 30K. Hey, Nicole, what you don't need to get to 30K, and then I'm going to go through what you need to get past 30K. So before I go into this, I'm just going to talk about who is this for. This is for, what I'm going to talk about is for coaches, consultants, certain service providers like digital marketers or people that do automation. Also what I call everyday experts. So people that want to get online, have some expertise, and, oh, from Australia, that's right. I grew up there, you know. So people that have some expertise that they could leverage, and I'm really good. Me and my team are really good. Hey, Joe, pretty good at getting people online with offers. Okay, so either they're a certified coach, or they're a service provider, or some sort of consultant. Hey, Mark, how are you? Where are you from? And also everyday experts, because I'm doing a lot of work with people that aren't coaches. And you don't need to be certified, by the way, folks. Nobody cares about that. What people care about is if you can help them with something. So I'll give you an idea. Take notes, yes. I'm working with a photographer, never coached in his life. He books high-end video weddings, 8 to 12K. He came to me and he said, can you help me? He said, I want to stay at home with my kids more. I said, sure. Why don't you go teach other wedding videographers and photographers how to get those clients? He said, oh, yes. The next day he sold a $4,000 package and sold another one. So he made $8,000 in 1 week, and he wasn't a coach. I just made him a coach. Hey, Troy says, hey, Jeanne, sharing your life. Thank you so much, Troy. That's the second time Troy has done that. Hey, Sammy, how are you? So I'm going to just recap. This is for consultants, coaches that are either certified or not. Nobody cares. I certainly don't. Everyday experts, somebody that has something that we could leverage. I'm really good at creating a package and some sort of offer. Jackie, how are you? And also for service providers like digital marketers, website people. Okay, great. I'm going to get started. All right. What you do need to get to, hey, thanks, Jackie. No worry, Fabio. Okay, what you do need to get to 30K plus months online. as one of these people that I just explained. I'm just going to take you through this, and you can ask as many questions as you like, and then I'm going to take you to the second stage and then the third stage, because there's up to 30, and then there's more and more and more, up to 1 million, okay, a year or more. Okay, so the first thing is not a website. No, everybody goes for that, and I love websites, and some of my clients, like Kendra, who's going to be on this live, or maybe is, very valuable. Branding, websites, all that stuff, valuable. But actually, you don't need that to get to 30K. You do need it at some point. Okay, it's great if you have it. Now, I had a website that I would not send people to. I'd say, don't go to my website, because it was not indicative of what I'm doing now. And I said, if you want to go see my story, sure, go to my website. I'm redoing it now. It's in the middle of construction. So if you go look at it now, it's just sort of, it's there, but we're changing it. But I didn't use my website. I said, don't go to my website. And they were like, what? No, that is not where I wanted them to go. I didn't want them. I wanted them to stay on social media. Hey, Trisha Newman, how are you? Okay, so the first thing you need is, you need to get, I'm just looking at my notes, yep, a strong, hey, Jose Luis Farias Sidders, that's a long name, where are you from? So the first thing you need is you need to nail a strong offer, okay? Now, the offer varies with the person, and there's not like there's one or two. I have created all sorts of crazy, amazing offers for people that do sell, because it's kind of my talent. It's just, what can we do, and who's going to pay what for it, okay? Now, once you have the offer, and I help people with this, by the way, you need to nail your avatar. And I don't mean nail them in a bad way. I mean, you've got to figure out who you're serving, who's going to buy that. So you have an offer here. It's like a potato, I call it. And I actually say to my clients, we got to sell a potato. Because if you think of it as a potato, and it's not this complex, multifaceted thing with 10 different, all of that complex stuff doesn't sell. It's a simple offer, okay? That works in the marketplace. And I do consult with people on what is working right now, because I have a pretty damn good idea. Okay, second thing, who is going to buy that potato? Because you have to have a match, that you got something valuable, and then, hey Jeff, and you've got to match that with the person that wants that particular potato. Or sometimes I call it a Mercedes, okay? Or whatever it is that you have. It's one thing. It's something that people will buy. Now, let's just talk about the problems with this that I'm seeing so far all over the place for years. Okay, online and offline, actually. People have something really valuable, okay? It's great, but they're not offering it. Hey, Petroni, ça va? They're not offering it to the right market. So if you're not offering your goodness to the right market, it won't sell. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not good. It means you've not created a match made in heaven, I call it. So what happens to people, I'm just going to address this, is they have a great offer, so valuable, and then they're not offering it to the right people. They're not selling it. They're not, hey, Taha, thanks for joining me. I think Taha's in Iran. So when you're not matching your, please some heart to be great, when you're not matching your valuable offer to the right people, you sometimes come off feeling like what you have to offer isn't valuable. Now, I've seen this so many times. People get demoralized. They spend years doing this. They spend years because they're not matching the valuable offer to the right people. And they're thinking it's them. So I just want to relieve all of that on this call, because it breaks my heart. Yes, selling to the wrong people, okay? There's a saying, to sell you have to have the right, on the phone, you have to have the right offer and the right person. You can sell. The offer's not right, the person's not right, you can't sell it, okay? So I think Jim Rohn said that, actually. So, and I see a lot, it breaks my heart, because I see a lot of people, and I'm like, that's a really valuable offer, and they, I can't sell it. It must not be good. Yes, you live in Manchester, that's right, Taha. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to just address, because there's so much pain, and I want to really take, my thing is I feel like I'm the coach doctor. I want to take people out of their pain. I want them to make money. I want them to share their goodness and create impact. And I feel like, and impact, the word, I know we hear it all the time, but make a good difference, help people, care. And if you got something really valuable to share and it's not being directed to the right people, it won't sell. So the first thing, strong offer that's valuable for some people, someone to finding out who that is. So you're going to nail it. It's called your avatar. If you don't know what that is, it's your target market. Now, when you figure out your avatar and your offer, it's dynamite. It just sells off the shelves because you're speaking to your market. They want it. So that's the first thing you need. You don't need the website first. Okay. The second thing you need is you could have what I call 5-minute branding. And I do this with my clients. This is Jeanne Omlor's 5-minute branding. And literally, in 5 minutes, we can brand. The light branding that you do need shouldn't be this big waiting, hey Beverly, waiting for Godot. No, this shouldn't be hard. And when I'm working with people, it's like if it takes long, we're doing it wrong. The first swipe, just get it out there. Okay, Hendra, you're there. Okay, now we were just talking about branding, Hendra. All right, now what you don't need, okay, to get to 30K, because I wasn't using my website, so I might as well have not had one. Nobody was directed there, and nobody found my website, because I wouldn't even give them my address. And I was like, no, keep them on social media. Okay, now, what you don't need a website at this point. You could have one, but you don't need it. You do not need an email list. Now, I'm not saying email lists aren't great, but I'm saying I got to 30K and plus, and I wasn't using my email list. I had an email list, which was people that were not relevant to my current offer. So I thought, you know what? Why would I even send emails? So I stopped all emailing, and I hadn't emailed in a while anyway, to be quite honest. I'd let that go. I'm just sharing with you, none of us act perfectly. I'm not like that person that everything has been perfect. I have neglected my list for years because I went through a really hard thing, and I just didn't even email my list for a long time. So I think that if we get past this, everything needing to be perfect, I think it would work better. Okay, so I'm admitting I didn't do everything perfectly, but I didn't have an email list, didn't have fancy branding. My website was kind of not great. Okay, so I didn't need that. Got to 30K plus and more. Okay, so I'm just relieving all of that. So to get to that, now what you do need, you need to have a very strong organic strategy. Now this means a strategy where you're not spending money on Facebook ads. You don't need Facebook ads. I mean, you could do it, but I'm just telling you what you don't need. You can do a lot of things, but you don't absolutely need Facebook ads to get you to 30K plus months online as a consultant, as a service provider, as a coach, as an everyday expert, where you're imparting your knowledge, okay? That's the great news, okay? It's wonderful, isn't it? Who thinks that's great? Please give me a lot of hearts if I just gave you the holy grail. Hey, Jeanne, how are you? So I'm just sharing. You don't need a fancy website. You don't need fancy branding. You don't need an email list yet. You could have it. These are all great, but you don't need it. Hey, Flip, you do not need this to get to 30K plus months online. It's much simpler than that. But what you do need, hey, Samuel, how are you? He's from the Dominican Republic. You do need a very strong organic strategy. That means social media marketing that you don't spend a dime on ads. Okay, great news. Now, I'm serious here. This is not that hard, and this is actually what I coach people on. Hey, Dion. A lot of hearts would be great, people. Hashtag live be great. Tell people that I'm doing this valuable live. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? I'm not going to wait. Just have the questions come in, and I'm going to go to the next stage. So to get to 30K plus, you could just not have a website ever and get way past 30K. In fact, I could never fix my website up, and I know I'll get to 1 million. Okay? I know that. But I am redoing my website because I want to use it for certain functions, because it's silly not to use everything you have as you get to the next stages. Okay? So I'm redoing my website. Why? Because I'm going to start using that to put like sales pages. I wasn't using sales pages, folks. Now there are some people that think they absolutely need a sales page. You don't. Okay? I'm trying to tell you how simple this process is. What you do need is a very, very watertight, organic social media marketing strategy. Okay, now, once you're at 30K, if you have any questions, ask me about this. I'm here to answer anything except my shoe size. You already know that, folks. Never the shoe size. Okay, so Gregory says, we can't live in a place of need. Needs are often veiled excuses. You know what I love about Gregory? He is just so philosophical. I love him to death. Okay, we do need certain things. But what happens with people, I've seen time and again, is they convince themselves that I can't do this unless, and I can't do this unless. So I want to just really relieve you of all that, relieve you of all that. You don't have to have so much, okay? You don't have to have so much. All right, you do need a strategy. I'm your gal for that. Okay, by the way, if anybody wants to get on a call with me after this, just drop it, you know where, down in the comments. You know, just say, hey, I want to get on a call, or just # call, and I'll get on the phone with you or my program director, and we will take you through this. It's not hard. Okay, now, once you get to 30K, you could just continue. That'd be great. But at this point, it would probably behoove you to fix up your website so you can use that for other things like, you know, getting an email list started or getting it back on track, because I had an email list, so I have another one I'm starting because I got a lot of, so restarting that. It's all good. And maybe sort through my old list and see who's on there that's still applicable. Okay, but I have thousands before and I'm not using it. So Gregory says, what separates a good social media strategy from a bad one? Well, okay, good question. Well, it has to be organized. You know, there's people that go off and get a bunch of free stuff all over the place. That will do your head in. Okay, you could do a lot of things. There's so much you could do. So in some ways, you got to limit what you do. Okay, because there's so much you could do. You limit what you do, that it's one thing after the other, and you've got to shut off shiny object syndrome. Because people go, oh, I'm doing these 5 courses. You can't do it all at once. You can't be on every platform either at once. So I actually limit what we do, because I know when you focus on one platform to begin with and you just deepen that, you could make so much, you know, without doing all this other stuff. Okay, so people are doing way too much. That's the good news, is you don't need a website. You don't need an email list. You don't need to have fancy branding to begin. Now, I know some people do this and it's very valuable, but I'm saying you don't absolutely have to have it. Okay, so this is kind of like Jeanne's minimalistic how to get there. Okay, so what separates a good social is that one that works, one that actually has a track record of working. Now, I've tested what I do over and over again with me and my clients. It works. We got to tweak it to the different brands, but it does work, and it's not hard, and we don't go off in a million different directions. So it's focused, it's productive, and it works, and it's proven. Okay, and then you test it, and it just gets better and better. Okay, also a good strategy is one where it's a step to the next part of it. So it's part of a funnel. Everything in life with marketing should be a funnel. So we're doing this whole thing that gets people to a certain point, up to 30K or more, okay? And then it's part of the funnel of where they go next. Now, a bad social media strategy is one where there's nowhere to go, where they're just in this hell where it's going to be the same thing over and over again. That's not a good strategy, because those people are going to get bored eventually doing the same exact thing. So it has to be a strategy that takes you to the next step. Now, the next step is, at this point, once you're at 30K, you could just stay there. Hey, star, you can then start an email list and start some email marketing, which will add to it. Why not? Integrate that. A website's good because then you could house your sales pages on that, because you're going to need a URL, okay? But you don't really even need a website for that. People don't understand you can do that in other places. You don't even need a website, okay? But it's good, you know, to start creating the authority that you have a website. So it's all good. Okay, and then with that, you're then introducing, hey Cindy, you're introducing now another thing, which is an email list, which is going to get you further, okay? Thank you, Hendra. And then from there, you can scale so far, okay? But why would you not, at that point, use Facebook ads? For certain businesses, at that point, you have a budget. When you have a budget, you reinvest in your business. You don't take the money and run. So at that point, you're good. You can then, because you have a hyper-validated, hey Sean, hyper-validated offer, I call it at that point. You're sold a lot. We know people love your stuff, okay? Hey, Daniel. So at that point, you have a budget. People know your stuff. You probably have some social assets at this point because you've done lives and other such things to get you there. Then you do Facebook ads, because at that point, the ads will actually work, okay? They'll actually work with a bunch of testing, because I have to now talk about Facebook ads. Facebook ads are not a magic wand. You do need a budget to test the ads. Now, the reason why you don't go to the ads first is If you don't have a hyper-validated offer, that means an offer that's just tried and true, you know your folks love it, you know your avatar and your target market just love that. When you go to do your ads, you're doing several things. You're figuring out, do people love my stuff? Okay, that's the first thing. And that is not where you should be asking that question when you're throwing money down the drain with ads, because you don't want to throw money down the drain with ads, because you've already got the other part to worry about, which is creative. That's the videos, that's the content of the ads, it's the photos, because you have to test those, and it's the targeting and the technology. So there's two sides. There's technology, targeting, running them, creative, photos, the video, and the ad copy, okay, and the offer. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to book a call, or are they going to get a free thing? Now, if you are also worried about whether your offer is good when you're doing Facebook ads, you're going to waste so much money. That is not where you test that. You do the testing in the organic strategy, because then you go into those ads with a different mindset. The mindset in the ads at that point is, these are just going to work. I've just got to test them and figure out, what kind of video do I do? Who do I target towards? Okay. So has anybody found this helpful so far? If you have any questions about any of these 3 stages, please just drop it in the comments. Now, by the way, if you want to hear more about what I do, I help coaches, service providers, I help everyday experts, people that want to coach on something. I will listen to you and I will figure out what we can create for you. Now, as I said, a lot of my folks that start working with me, they're out there and they're selling $4,000, $5,000 offers the next week, literally, and more, okay? Now, if you want to talk to me, put hashtag talk and we'll reach out and we'll get you on a call and we'll figure out what we can do for you. Okay, now, so that's kind of it. What else? Yeah, so does anybody have any questions about this, about offers, about avatar, please recap what the 3 stages. Okay, sure. The first stage, hey Marcus, the first stage is to get to 30K plus, this is all you need, okay? Okay, I'm going to answer Jackie's. It depends on the offer. Actually, I help people either get on Facebook or on LinkedIn. And for my high-end thing, I'm creating an Instagram strategy, okay? So it depends on who you're selling to and what your offer is. And it's really important that we have a choice of Facebook or LinkedIn, because some offers will not work on Facebook and some offers won't work on LinkedIn. Some work on both. Like mine works on both, and a lot do work on both, but some will only really work on LinkedIn because we need to identify certain people, and you can identify certain people on LinkedIn by title, and you can't do that on Facebook. Okay, hi Diana. Okay, so I'm going to go through the 3 stages again. The first stage to get you 30K plus, which I did. I got me to 30K plus, and I wasn't using my website. My email list was not at all appropriate anymore. I wasn't emailing. So hint, how do you recruit your avatar concretely? Okay, I'm going to answer that in a second, but first I'm going to go through 3 stages. Okay, first stage, you need an offer, you need an avatar, and you need a will. Okay, I didn't talk about something else. You need a will. You need a will to succeed, and you need to be willing to invest in yourself to make this work. You need a will, because where there's a will, there's a way. Yes, okay. So you need an avatar. You need a strong offer. I help people with this, by the way. You need what I call 5-minute branding with Jeanne Omlor, which is free, or $5 or $10, okay? And you need to get a very strong, organic social media strategy in place. One that works. That's not shiny object syndrome abounding. Okay, some loves would be great. All right, now, and then the second stage, once you're past that, good to get your website, that's great. Start getting your email list sorted. Start emailing those people. There's another strategy that actually I teach. And then after that, you got money coming in, you have a budget, you have a hyper-validated offer, go for the Facebook ads if you like. Now, I have colleagues that don't want to do Facebook ads, and some of them are making like $75,000 per month without Facebook ads. That's all good. They don't want to do it. You don't have to, but if you want to get to multi-millions, it's probably easier to leverage Facebook ads. Okay, now, hint said, Jeanne, how do you recruit your avatar concretely? Okay, so you recruit your avatar concretely by having your great offer and by reaching out to them on a certain platform, which, I coach on LinkedIn, I coach on Facebook, and there's a variety of things that move together. And I can't go through them all here because it's a training, it's a lot of trainings. There's various things you do that are like, I explain it, they're like cogs in a wheel that all move like a Swiss watch, okay, or a Swiss clock, and they move together so well, they hyper complement or cross complement, so they work. Now that is what, hi Mike, how are you? That's what a good strategy is, and that is how you reach out to your avatar concretely. Okay, now again, it's a little more complex, not so complex, but there's more than one thing. You don't just do one thing, because if you were going to work with me, and Hint actually is working with me, and I just had one thing to tell you, hell, I could just tell you on this live, right? But what you all know is valuable stuff is not just Googling something and getting a free report. I think we're all intelligent enough to know, and I've gotten stuff free on Google, but it's not like a whole strategy and coaching. And I have to say also, I have really good materials, but what really works with your offers, what people really need to know is it's you, okay, that you have the way, but you from your will as a great coach or consultant or service provider are going to hyper support people and get them where they need to go. So, you know, there's all this fear of, is my offer good? Well, your offer is also you, folks. You're your offer. You're backing what you're doing, and that is half the offer. Because if I had great materials and I didn't coach people properly to get where they need to go, those materials are useless. Okay, and I think we've all done courses where it's just the materials, and it's like, well, oh, I needed coaching. Okay, so Gregory has another question. No worries, Jackie. Will is power. Yes. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Nobody's going to spoon feed you results. Now, I'm pretty good at spoon feeding, like motivation and, you know, the trainings, and I will hyper coach, laser coach, boost coach people. But if you're not motivated, nothing will happen in your life. Nobody's going to do things to you or for you. Okay? Hey, Cole. So you've got to be really clear that, you know, yes, the strategy is there. Yes, there's a clear way. And I think the reason why I wanted to do this live was just to clear up a lot of the confusion and the depression. People are kind of depressed. I don't know what to do. And Jeanne, I'm looking at this and 5 free reports, and, you know, stop it. You need a clear pathway forward. You need to decide that you will succeed. Okay, I had to decide that for myself because I had ups and downs. I wasn't always like this, and I had to decide. You're welcome, Hint. Looking forward. Yes, Hint's just started, and I'm looking forward too. She's going to explode. She's a leadership and expert in leadership and executive coaching. Trish, how are you? Hey, Trish, one of my old filmmaking friends from New York. So you've got to have the strategy. You have to have a certain mind landscaping. I always call about mind landscaping because I don't like calling it a set. You have to decide you are going to be successful. And when you make that decision and you have the right vehicle to drive you into the right garage, meaning your client's garage, you know, you will succeed. Okay? But if you don't decide to succeed, nothing is going to help you. Not even Jeanne Omlor. Okay? Because I can't help people that don't want it. All right? Hey, Andrew, how are you? Gregory, wow, so amazing, but simple concept. Who you are as a coach is at least as important as the content. Yes. Well, coach, service provider, you can have great digital marketing services, but if you do not support your clients and don't walk them through and you know, morally support them, because there's fear involved whenever we hire anybody. There's always a sense we need to feel like we got us covered, you know, and I actually say to some of my clients, I got you covered. I want them to know I got you covered. You know, I'm not going to put you on my head, but I will hold your hand and I will walk across the water with you. That's very biblical, okay? I'm not going to put you on my head, but I will hold your hand and we can walk across the water together, okay? So I'm not enabling, but I am there. Okay, hey Craig, how are you? So does anybody have any questions about the 3 stages of growing a $1 million, a multi-million-dollar online business where you don't need so much? You need your offer, you need yourself, you're going to need, oh, by the way, at some point, I missed a part. Some point, you're going to want help. Okay, so step 2, you can get to 30K with not having any help. I did. I had no assistant. I hired people on Fiverr here and there. So when people say, oh, I have to get an assistant, you don't. It's the second stage where you really need to get help. Then you're going to need assistance. You're going to need, you know, to farm stuff out. Because if you don't start farming stuff out and getting things done, you can't get to the next level. But I'm going to tell you though, you can get to 30K doing it all yourself. And this is a revelation for people, because once they hit 10K, they're like, oh, I got to get a team, and Jeanne, I got to get a personal assistant. And the funny thing is, I've seen people, when they hit 30K a month, they feel like they're gods, okay? Like, I hit 30K, and they start to go a bit nuts. Like, oh, it's so much money. But then I normalize the numbers for them, and I say, you know what? Why don't we talk about 50K and onwards? Because that's a bigger number. What about 100K? That's a big number. So you normalize the numbers. You pat yourself on the back, and you go, you know what? 30K is great, but it's really not the most money in the world. It's not. It's not $1 million a year yet. Okay? So, and that's the thing. The 30K is usually like, oh, I'm going to get a personal assistant. Don't do it. Get help. But you're not yet a millionaire, folks. Okay? It's not that much money. And I know you're like, what? Jeanne, if I could get to 30K, I'd feel like a god. It's not that much money. Really. It's not. Okay? I'm here to tell you, it's great, but you got to normalize those numbers. Now, if you're not yet on 5K, hey, your first goal should be 5K. Be humble. And then your next goal should be 10K. Okay? And then it should be 15, 20, whatever. I'm not knocking that. Hey, I when I first started this whole organic thing, I wasn't making any money with it, obviously, because we all start on zero, okay? So money is energy. Absolutely, Hendra. And I'm not putting down people if they're just starting. I was on nothing per month with organic, okay? I had to, shift from an offline strategy to online. So when I first started my big online strategy, I was at zero, like everyone. So, in all humility, nobody starts off making, we all start somewhere. So it's all good, of course. If you're going to pretend, that we all didn't start somewhere, there's a problem, right? We all started, and that's why I don't get why people are always knocking newbie coaches. We all started as newbies. We all started somewhere. So I don't get that. There's a problem with that. And I really won't tolerate that, people putting down other people because they're starting. Starting is a great place to be. I started with this. We all start. So, I'm not here to look down on you or anything like that, because that's just not cool. All right? But I will say, when you get to 30K, it's not like you're a god. You're just pat yourself on the back, celebrate your success, and then move to the next goal. Get some help. But don't go getting yourself like, one of those really expensive, personal, full-time assistants, Okay. Great. Was this helpful? Now, if you want to talk to me about how I can help you get to 20K, 30K, and beyond, because I have my core signature program, and then I have something that's way bigger. But tell me, put #call, me or my program director will get you on a call, and we'll listen to what it is you want to create, and we do listen to what it is you want to create, and we don't push you into something. We figure out what could we do, and how would that look like, because my course is actually customized. Okay, Nahid, how are you? Alrighty, so hearts would be great. #live would be great. If you liked this, please say so. If you have any questions, I'm here, and I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Stacy, we were just talking about how to get from 30K online to beyond, what you do need, what you don't need. Be good if you watched it again. If you watched this on the replay, do #replay. That would be cool. So, Gregory cracks me up. Gregory says, so should I return the yacht? You wish. Okay. Now, the other thing is people also go nuts with spending once they get to 30K. It's like they think they're so rich. So I'm not saying to be cheap, but hey, if you need a new computer, buy one at that point. You need to get some help? Get some help. Start farming stuff out. And I'm really big on enlisting help. Yeah, /life. Actually, it's /live, Hendra, but I love the /life idea. You crack me up. Okay. Who here? You're a booster. Thank you, Hint. Who here? Now remember, it's mostly about your energy when you're working with people. And I'm going to talk now about something I don't talk about a lot. I'm going to talk about how you are when you're working with your clients. We went from, okay, your energy is what they're paying for. Your energy is everything. So if you're pleasant and you're upfront and you're honest and you really want to get, now I'm pleasant, but I really do push my clients. It's pleasant love. But I'm not going to be like, oh, how do you feel today? And oh, you don't want to do any work? Oh, no, it's going to be, well, I'm sorry you don't feel well. Maybe you should take a day off if you're really not feeling well, okay? But fact is, it's how you act with your clients. They're paying for your energy. Now, I hired somebody, and he's so sweet. He's really good at what he does. But he's cool, he's funny, we get along. I was thinking, just dealing with him is so pleasant, but he does a good job too. Now, if he did a good job and he wasn't unpleasant, I probably would have fired him by now, because I do fire people. I had somebody providing some services and he just wasn't nice, and I said, I'm so sorry, I can't do this anymore. And when I did fire him or let him go, because it was it was just a service, it wasn't like an employee, I felt bad, but if he wasn't easy to work with, it's on him. And I did say, you could be a little easier to work with, and maybe that helped him. And I said it gently, but I said, you could be a little easier to work with. And he said, okay, I get it. So, yes, now he just lost that because he wasn't that pleasant with me, okay? If he had been pleasant, I wouldn't have let him go. Now, I'm just being honest. We are all like this. We are not going to work with people that aren't kind and nice, right? Okay, so if anybody loved this, please, the hearts would be great. If you have any questions about my programs or anything Petroni, I'm glad you liked it. Another fantastic client of mine turned up. Scott, how are you? All right, does anybody have any questions about organic marketing? You want to get on the phone with me, we won't bite. Put hashtag call, hashtag help, hashtag let's get on that phone now. And we'll reach out, or you can DM me if you don't want to do that, and me or my program director will get on the phone, we will listen, we'll say, what do you have going on? And we will be very honest about whether we can help you leverage that. Again, you don't need to be certified at all, okay? People just want your help. And this is called knowledge brokerage. We are, in a way, knowledge brokers. Okay, so I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes, and then I'm actually going to go for a walk. So, who has a question? I'd be glad to stay on for a couple more minutes. If you don't have any questions, I will be saying goodbye. Oh, by the way, folks, just a heads up, I'm not allowed to post on my timeline or anywhere. Facebook has taken that away. I think it's a glitch, okay? Nothing else was taken away, and so if you haven't seen me engaging on my Facebook timeline or in groups, that's why. That's why Gregory, who is also working with me, sometimes posts for me. You can also find me on LinkedIn under my name, so why don't you go connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm putting more posts there because, you can't stop an unstoppable person, right? I'm actually getting people from LinkedIn to here, and actually a couple people I met on LinkedIn, and they're already on my live here. So see how we cross? And that's the other thing. In business, when something happens, you pivot immediately. And when that happened, I just thought, okay, I'm just going to do more on LinkedIn this week, okay? So Gregory says, so stage 1 is nailed down, offer now. Yes, that's stage 1. Stage 2 is, yep, and we're going to wait for stage 2. Gregory's going to come up with that in a minute. Does anybody have any questions in the meantime? I'm very happy hanging with you. I do this every Saturday, live, 5 p.m. EST, because I live in Ohio, and it's kind of like my TV show that I'm doing. I can't call it Saturday something else at 5 because that is branding. I can't do that. I can call it Saturday live at 5. So stage 2, Gregory, is to create organic traffic strategy. Actually, that's stage 1. You messed up. Okay. Stage 1 is strong offer, avatar, and minimal branding and organic strategy to get you to 30K. Stage 2 is you could get an email list sorted out and your website, so you could do sales pages. And stage 3 is to go for the ads. Okay, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. Who enjoyed this? If so, please give me some hearts. Give me some love. We all love love. I love love. Okay, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything now. Ask me anything. Anything about anything. Okay, nobody has any questions? No one? I'll wait another couple seconds. I love it. Yeah, thank you, Jocelyn. Well, I actually used to have, on YouTube, I have something called Jeanne Omlor TV, which I have to warm up again. I'm going to put some of these lives, but I'm going to start that up again later. When I first started my coaching business, I did it, but it was just so much work that I kind of let it go. Hey, Warren, how are you? You got it. Okay. Yes, I do see this as a show. That's why I call it Saturday Live at 5, and I branded that. Okay. Who has a question about anything? Who has an offer that they're not sure of, and they don't quite want to get on the phone with me because they're a little bit intimidated, even though there's no pressure and we don't bite. Who has an offer that they're sort of like, gee, Jeanne, do you think this would work or not? Because I'll give you some advice right now about that. I'm here and I'm fully present. Thank you, Troy. Thank you for sharing this again. All right, so Gregory, what's the key to getting beyond 30K? The key to getting beyond 30K? Well, that's a great question. Most of it is mind landscaping, that you can allow yourself to open the ceiling past 30K. Actually, these are the ceilings. There's 10K, 20K, and then there's 30K. And then beyond that, that's another mind landscaping jump. I've noticed that, okay? Now, my job actually is to get people to 20K. That's my branding, because I want to under-promise. But I have gotten people way past that. One of my clients got to 50K. Two of them actually got to 50K last month, okay? So, but my goal on my branding is to get you to 20K. And it won't happen overnight, let's be real. But I have the pathway forward. And of course, 30K also, but I don't put that because I want to under-promise. Okay, so the key is mind landscaping. People have a ceiling where it's like, oh, 5K, then it's 10K, then it's 20, then it's 30, and they think 30 is like so much. Okay, we have to then normalize numbers. Okay, that's where the 50K, normalize. There's journaling about it. It's bringing it in, be very intentional. Attach yourself actually to that goal. We talked about this last week, actually, or the week before. I can't remember. I think it was last week or the week before. Can't remember. But now that is now a lot of mind landscaping. You're taking other actions, but a lot of that really is internal work, okay? Internal and external, external. And then past that, then it's I go from 10, 20, 30, 50, then 100K landscaping, because that's a big jump. But it's really easy to double your money. I find that it's easy if you're making 50K, it's really easy to make 100K. You might think, what? That's not easy. It actually is, because you've already done so much that's gotten you there. And you haven't done it yet, so you can't imagine. But when you have made the 50K, you've done certain things that get you there. Because what got you here won't get you there. And that's the mind landscaping, is people can't imagine, because they're doing certain things, how that's going to work. Well, it's not going to work, because you have to figure out what's going to get you to one, and then you keep changing that or morphing that into the next stage. Because what got you here won't get you there. That's a book by Marshall Goldsmith, actually. It's a leadership book. It's true. If you think, oh, gee, I invested $1 in my business and I'm going to keep doing that, you're wrong, because it's physics. We all know when you don't invest in your business, it's not going to get you there. So how ideal is, the more I have my business and the more I make, the more I invest. I actually have an investment budget in my business. And that's what smart people do. It's not like an unheard of thing. That's a very common business practice, is you have, and if you think that you're going to keep investing the same, well, you're wrong. It just doesn't work. Now, because I'm also a business strategist. I'm beyond the online. I also am a business strategist for highfalutin people. So the more you make, you actually get a budget and you spend that. And I do that every month. I spend more on my business. The more I make, the more I allocate, because you're growing it that way. Now, the take the money and run attitude is a very shrinking kind of, hey, Heather, it's a shrinking, hey, Thomas, kind of mind landscaping, I call it, because you're just like, oh, I'm going to make this, then I'm going to keep it all. Well, that is tight. And the universe, if you're into the universe, well, physics actually, is such that you can't shrink and grow at the same time, okay? You can't be cheap and grow at the same time. It just doesn't work. And that is why big companies have an investment budget. And what I try to teach people is I try to teach them to be the CEOs of their own $1 million company in their minds, and it will happen, okay? So does anybody have any questions about that? I got on a lot of tangents, as I tend to do, but that's my style, and people are used to that now. Okay, so, and the other thing is, when you're doing your business, please try to be yourselves. Try to just come out of the gate as yourselves, because when you don't, people smell it, okay? People smell it, and they're either going to love you or they're going to hate you. And you know what? Some people maybe don't love me. I don't care, because the people that do love me, it's because I'm being myself. So that's another thing. Be yourself in your lives. Don't try to be somebody else. Okay, because who you are right now is very valuable. And what you know right now is very valuable. But you might not know how to market what you know. Then you might not need some training. Okay, so thanks for the hearts. Samuel has not had a question, I don't think, today, which is rare because Samuel usually asks me questions. Okay, I'm going to stay on for just another minute and see if another question pops up. If not, we're going to wrap this live up. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you share it. And if you want to get on the phone with me or my program director, please just put hashtag talk, hashtag we need your help, hashtag you're awesome. Let's get on that phone like immediately, and we will see if we can help you make more money online and leverage. Okay, so looks like, hey Vanessa, how are you? Looks like we have no questions. So, oh, we have one more. Can you smell what Jeanne Omlor is cooking? I don't know, I'm not actually cooking yet, but I can hear my kids in the background. I told them to be quiet. Okay, so, haha, yes, Samuel, we had no questions. Samuel's going to be starting working. We're starting working with Samuel this Friday. Okay, Gregory, what if you have never coached anyone or never thought about coaching? Is this still possible? Yes, it is. Because people that come to me know they can innately coach. And actually, I sometimes help people with that part. I will actually coach them on the coaching. If they need it, I'll do it. Because I literally do whatever they need. Okay, but if somebody comes to me, no, I've had people that have said, I don't know if I can coach. And I said, I think you can. Because it's really not that hard. And just so you're not claiming that you're certified. Because some people care about that. Most people in this day and age don't really care if you're certified or not. Leadership coaching, they do. And certain types of coaching, they do care. Okay, they do. Most people don't. They just want help. Okay, Troy, post your lives in my group. Okay, great. Troy is actually letting people post your lives in his group. That's awesome. Haha, that's a rock reference. Yeah, okay, good. The cooking was in reference to what you said. Yes, Troy, thank you. You know, I moved on so much further that I couldn't remember what I said. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up because I think that we have no questions. And if you have questions after, by the way, you can always put them below in the comments and I will go back and I will answer those questions. Samuel says, what do you say when you are new and people ask, how long have you been doing that? You are honest and you say, you know what? I just started doing this. And you know what? If people think that you can help them, they don't care, okay? This is the problem. People have all this imposter syndrome. And really, if somebody said, you know what, Jeanne, here's my offer. And I thought, gee, that's a really good offer. And they say, you know, I've just started this. I'd be like, you know what? That's okay. Great. Let me be your first client. And you know what? Sometimes people want to be your first client. So I think we have to let go of a lot of fear of imposter syndrome because that is just killing you guys. It's killing you. It really is. It's okay to have a first client. We all had a first client. And when I had my first client, I said, guess what? You're my first client. And that person said, really? Oh, I'm so excited. That's what that person said. Really? Oh, I'm so excited because I can see that you're very good at this. All right? That's what happened to me. Okay, people are actually pretty loving when you give them a chance. Okay, Hendra says, hi, Jeanne. I do branding, but don't want to go live and talk about how to learn branding or how to be better at marketing as I'm no expert to marketing. What posts? Oh, well, it would be about branding. You're the branding. So you would talk about what doesn't work in branding, like, oh, I got a good one. You were telling me how people just say how awesome they are all the time. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear how awesome you are. They want to hear how you're going to help. So, Hendra, you would talk about what not to put in posts and what branding shouldn't look like branding that looks homemade. And you could do, an example of a bad branding, good branding, things like that. And what else? A good website, what a good website should do and what it shouldn't do. Things like that. I mean, it's endless, Hendra. We can talk about this later, but you are a gold mine. Okay, I missed the lake. Yeah, it was a little chilly, so I'm going to wait till it's a little warmer to go back to the lake. Okay, Rick, how are you? Alrighty, well, this has been so pleasant. And you know, guys, I really appreciate you. And because I was an actress, we all heard that before, but I will put it in there. Because I was an actress, I actually love having an audience, and I love helping, and I love communicating with people. It's kind of my thing. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to sign off for now, and I'm going to get us on a walk. We have beautiful golf courses here, and we can walk for like 2 hours and do a loop. It's great. We might not do an hour, though. We might just do a 45-minute walk. Okay, Hendra, you are awesome, Hendra. You have so much to offer, and I want to just say something to all you folks out there. I truly believe all of you have so much to offer, and you don't even realize it. That what you have already is so valuable. And there are people out there that would get on a phone and pay you big bucks to have you help them with something. Okay, that's my last word. Okay, God bless all of you, and I will see you next Saturday live at 5 right here. Okay, take care. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye. Thank you, Hendra. I will enjoy my walk. Bye.